and yesterday over in Lilyworks Jewels and Lots, and has anybody won it today? Yeah, tell us about it. Okay. Whoa. Whoa. Thank you. Yeah. 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 Yes. Yes. All right. Not it's you're gonna see in a minute, not a problem. And you've got a special show coming up 7:30. Your Is that your time or my time? 7 7:30 Central. So that's 8:30. It's 8:30 my time. Okay. Wow. Awesome. Awesome. I read that earlier, your alert you put out, and that sounds wonderful. And so I know you're going to do well, and everybody is going to transition from my wacky room into yours. All right. Well, let me thank you, Rachel, for explaining all that to us, and let me get started with. Uh, what I've got to say tonight. I'm gonna throw a ball at you. I don't know if anybody has looked in my store, in my my store. I do have my pieces that were to be up for auction listed, and if you've looked at them, you'll see that I was going to be true to this market. I was going to bring some nearly antique, but certainly really good quality vintage books, particularly children's books. These are books that are collectible, and you can certainly buy them and read them to your kids and your grandkids, but it's not a book that you'd want to hand to your 2 year old to let them just, go to town with a crown in it. They're collectible books, and I also had some collectible paperbacks for adults that were sci-fi. There are a lot of folks out there that like to collect sci-fi paperbacks, and I've got Conan the Barbarian and books that I've not read any of them, but they're collectible. Therefore, they've got a value, and they're going to be bought and resold and make a profit. So, let me finish up about that. I am. Oh, and you also saw that there were these mystery bags, and I think you saw them starting at $1. Well, let me tell you, I was going to get in here for my 30 minutes and just show all those young whippersnappers how to do it. I can be competitive, and boy, I was going to tear up the woods and sell my 30 items. Y'all bear with me. And I think I wore myself out thinking about it. I had a real good plan. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I may use it again in the future. So you'll have to be held in suspense. But as soon as this show ends tonight, all of those items that you see that I was going to auction off, all those books, I am going to go ahead, once they expire from this live auction, I'm going to go ahead and move those over as my very first items into Lily Works Antiques and Collectibles into the Buy It Now. So they'll be the first items in my store. So if you see a book that, like that Maurice Sendak or the Eric Carle book, or one of those golden books, or if you got a hang for sci-fi and Conan the Barbarian, you'll be able to find those in the Buy It Now. And let me just give you a heads up, that the prices that are there are, um, first of all, I researched to list them on eBay, and I will be also cross listing them on eBay myself, but they're going to be going on eBay for exactly $10 more per item. So I took off $10 to be able to show them here to give people that are, because I'm trying to encourage you guys to get interested in going into these thrift stores or into estate sales, and picking up these older books that have really good value to them, and began to learn how to research them and to find the value and to sell them. So I wanted to offer these to get you started with something that you could go right out there and relist it for and earn at least a $10 profit. I'm just, but so, why am I not going to auction them off tonight? My day, my day started off a little strange. Well, every day with me is a little strange, but I got up and went to church, and um, I was going to run a little errand and come back and finish getting all of these mystery bags ready for y'all tonight. And I distinctly heard uh, the word rest. And at first I thought, no, no, I'm too busy to rest. But it came again real clearly. And y'all, I've been walking with the Lord now for 40 years. 49 years. That's a long time. And I recognize his voice. And he was telling me to rest. Now, and he didn't mean just go home, take a nap. He meant just chill, just stop. And so I want to tell you that through the years, I have learned to pay attention to that voice. Sometimes it is the difference between life and death. Now, I'm going to tell you a quick little story, and this is all free. Okay. And I'm not looking at the chat, so y'all take care of each other in the chat. And if we lose some while I'm telling this story, that's okay. Those of you that remain, you're going to hear a Pack Rat Queen story. One afternoon, and this must have been 25 years ago, I ironically laid down on my sofa to take a quick little nap. It was in mid afternoon before my daughter got home from school, and I had just laid down when I heard that voice. But this time it was telling me, get up and take a walk. And y'all, at first I said, oh, I did not hear that. I am lying down with my shoes off and I'm going to take a nap. Well, I heard it again very clearly, get up and take a walk. But I laid there and I argued a bit and complained. I said, "Y- Lord, you know, I don't like to take walks and I really need to take a nap." And I hesitated a few more minutes, and y'all, I heard it again, and this time it was like thunder. Get up now, take a walk. Man, I never come off that sofa so quick. Put my shoes on, walked right out the front door, and thought I had not a clue why, but I knew I needed to do it. So we had a long driveway to get out to the street. I started walking, and just as I was getting to the towards the end of my driveway, I could see the street that our driveway came out into. Right straight ahead was another street that came and intersected into it. So coming up my driveway, I could see straight down that other street, and there, way at the distance, was a figure walking towards me. And the closer they got to me, I said, I think I know who that is. And it was a young fella that whose grandmama and granddaddy lived down the road a bit. And he was a teenager. He was probably 18 or so, I guess. And the closer that he got, I confirmed it's him. And so as it was, we just really sort of met. When I got to the end of my driveway, he we met each other, and of course he knew me, and I sort of knew him. I knew his grandmother better, but I said, "Hey, how are you?" And he kind of hung his head a little bit. "I'm fine, I'm fine." I said, "Are you walking home?" And he said, "Yes, yes, ma'am." And so I said, "Well, here I'm out for a walk. I'll walk with you." And so we turned and went up towards the main road that would go down to his granny's house. And as we're walking, I'm just chit chatting with him, carrying on to asking him what's going on, how are things. And he was a little standoffish, but he was polite. And when we got to the end of the street that was the entrance into the subdivision, and he was going to go left and down to his granny's, we stopped and turned and faced each other. And when we did, I saw his open collar shirt that he had on a piece of jewelry. Now, here in this is a neat jewelry connection, and I've got an example of what I saw. Now it's not exactly the same thing because his was, I've got to take my glasses off. His was just a plain, maybe silver tone. It might have been sterling, I don't know, but it was on a silver chain. But it was definitely an anchor. And my eye was attracted to it. And so I kind of pointed at it and I said, "Wow, that's pretty. Where did you get that?" And he said, "My girlfriend gave it to me." He said, "My girlfriend gave it to me." And so I asked him, I said, "Well, what an unusual," I'm going to put it, my camera's going to blur out if I don't hold this up. I said, "Well, it's an unusual pendant." I said, what did it mean to her? I mean, why did she choose an anchor? I said, "You know, that's what it is, an anchor." He said, "Yes, ma'am." He said, "I don't know. I don't know why she chose that." And I said, "Well, that's a very significant symbol." And he said, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, what?" And I said, "Well," and y'all just something told me he started to really listen to me. And I said, "Well, an anchor is traditionally a symbol for Jesus Christ, for the Lord. Because if you ever find yourself in a storm where it seems like, the waters, the waves are high, and you've maybe, your boat that you're in is rocking and you're fearful that it's going to capsize, that sailors will throw out this anchor, and it anchors it to the bottom of the water, the lake or the ocean or whatever." And I said, "It keeps the boat safe, keeps the men safe." And that's why it's such a wonderful symbol for Jesus. In the middle of a storm, he will come and anchor you and keep you safe. I'm just remembering this like it was yesterday. So he said, he looked at me and y'all tears came up in his eyes. And then it just like burst forth. He was crying. I said, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" He said, "You just don't know. You have no idea what you're saying to me." I said, "Well, tell me." And he began to tell me, he said, "You know, my daddy has been in and out of trouble with the law a bunch." And I said, "Yeah, I know." And that's why he was living with his grandparents. And he said, "Well, my dad is now back in prison, and he's going to be there probably the rest of his life." And he said, I swore to myself that I would never do what he did with drugs, not just using drugs, but selling them. And to get in that kind of trouble and mess my life up, I swore to myself I'd never do it. Well, I knew what he was going to tell me next. He said, "But I did. I fell for the temptation to make some quick money." And he said, "I've been caught, and you don't know it, but I'm supposed to show up to the jail, county jail, on Monday and turn myself in." And he said, and he was just really crying at this point. He said, "I just don't think I can ever forgive myself." Now, this kid was just 18 years old. He felt like he'd just ruined his life and he failed expectations he'd set for himself. So I said, "Well, let's do this. Let's ask that Jesus come and put an anchor down for you." Wow. "Put an anchor down for you in the middle of this storm." And I said, "Have you ever accepted the Lord as your Savior?" He said, "No, ma'am. I've been to church a bunch, but I never have." He said, "I know what you're talking about." I said, "Well, let's just pray right now." And we did. I just laid my hands on his shoulder, prayed for him. And he said, when we were through, I'm telling you, that boy's countenance had changed. There was a glow about him, and he was then excited to get home and tell his granny what had happened to him. Then he grabbed me by the shoulders and he said, "Again, you don't know how important this has been that you have spoken to me. If you had just been a minute or two sooner or later, you would have missed me." He said, "I was headed home to get my daddy's pistol and kill myself." He said, "I couldn't stand it, that I had failed and disappointed me and my grandparents, and that I was just destined to be just like my daddy." He said, "I was going to kill myself." Y'all, when I said obeying that little still small voice can be the difference between life and death, I'm serious. If I hadn't have obeyed simply and gotten up and taken that walk, I would have missed him. So when the Lord said to me today, coming out of church, and I was thinking about getting home and I was thinking about getting my mystery bags already and taking on this challenge. And the Lord said to me, "No, I want you to rest," which means stop and be still. And I knew He meant don't do it. Just instead. So I said, "Instead what?" And he said, "Well, just have a little talk." Have a little talk. So I haven't been looking at any of y'all's comments. I haven't a clue of how you're responding to this. I know that we've still got a few in the room. And so Uh, but that's my show for tonight. If you want to buy something, my Buy It Now is open, and also on Lily Works Jewels and Lots. Got some things listed there, and I've got trays of stuff to add to that from the last shows we've had. Everything that didn't sell, I'm going to go ahead and put on to Buy It Now in both marketplaces. And I want to thank y'all, especially yesterday over in Jewels and Lights. During my teaching, y'all were just so awesome to buy up my examples that I was using. I had a good day yesterday, and I want to thank you for it. And so, has it been 30 minutes? I've almost taken my show time, but I'm I'm not going to keep y'all any longer. I'm going to say goodnight to you. Please come back over. Rachel, are you going to be here on this market or on the other one, Jewels and Light? Sorry, are you still there? Can you answer? Can you tell me if you go which market you're going to be in? Is at your time, 8:30? Jewels and Lights. Maybe you're writing that down. The other market. She'll be on Jewels and Lights. It's going to be an important show. Y'all, please show up at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, 7:30 Central Standard Time, and please don't ask me what that is. Mountain and Pacific. Okay, y'all figure it out. I love you, and I will see all of you next Saturday at 2 o'clock, unless I decide to do a pop up between now and then. So just watch the state, the channel, the district in this marketplace. I love all of you. And let me look real quick to see if somebody's hollering at me for something in particular. I don't see it. I think I'm going to put this also. I'll put it over. I'll put it on this marketplace with all those books as a reminder of what we talked about tonight. So this will go into my Buy It Now if you're interested. Okay. I love all of you.